sick of love songs. I'm tired of this, and I wanna tell you straight just like it is.
Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Carly and I am a working mom. I have 3 kids, 5, 3, and 1, and I post a couple videos a week, so just me cleaning, cooking, day in the life, you know, whatever I have to offer. So if you like these types of videos, please go ahead and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell to be notified when I post a video. So in today's video, we are going to be doing a messy house clean with me. The house was pretty crazy, and usually when the house gets like this, I like to, and to start my day off, I like to focus on my bedroom and my master bathroom. I think I've talked about this in my previous videos. I like to start off in that area because if I was to start in like the main living area, the kitchen, the dining room, living room, by the time I did get to my room, the house would be destroyed again. It's like a never ending of cleaning the main living area. So I like just to get my room and the bathroom done, and then it is pretty much golden the rest of the day. So I had just bought that white textured quilt from Target the day before filming this. It is from the Magnolia brand, and so this was actually my first time making the bed since I bought it. So I was still trying to play around with it of how I wanted to make the bed. When I add things to the bed, the way I make my bed changes, and it's still continuing to change. So it did take me a little bit to figure out a way of how I wanted the bedding. And again, I did buy the duvet from TJ Maxx, and it has obviously all those strings right there where you tie it to keep the duvet secure, but I'm not a fan of it, so I'll tie it and then I'll go ahead and tuck it in. I didn't realize by the time I got home with the duvet, I saw that it had the strings, and I loved it so much, the color, everything. I just, I will deal with it, and it's, I can just tuck it in and you can't really even notice. And now obviously I have the 2 benches in front of my bed, so you really can't even tell, so it really just works out. I still have yet to get a laundry system down, so our closet is just all over the place. I still have not even touched and organized my closet just in general. We've been in the house for a little over a month, and everything in my closet, I feel like it is crazy. That is definitely a project that I need to work on ASAP because it is driving me bonkers just looking at everything. In the previous home, we had this hamper. It had like the ones with the wheels, and it had the 4 hampers in it, so it was nice because it was like 4 loads in 1 basket. And now I have so many baskets in my closet, and Miguel just doesn't know where anything goes. Sometimes I don't even know where anything goes because it's just all over the place. Like there's no home for a lot of the stuff that I have in there. So I feel like now, like when we change clothes or whatever, a lot of them just end up in a pile, or they just are on the floor. And, like before in the old house, it was so easy to sort the laundry, like as we took our clothes off or whatever. Now it's kind of not like that. So it's definitely a lot more clothes to pick up off of the floor. I can see everything clearer. So I'm going to go ahead and just take everything off of the countertops and spray it down with my Lysol spray. And then I'm going to go ahead, and while that is sitting on top of my counter and baking, I'm going to go ahead and add the toilet bowl cleaner to the toilet and spray that down with the same spray as well. And then let that sit while I clean my countertops. After that's done, then my toilet is good to go to clean. Ever since I got these the white countertops, you guys, everything shows on my countertops, like every little thing. And obviously we have white floors as well, so it's like I clean my bathroom every morning anyways. I still do my dirty 30. So obviously when I get back into my YouTube routine, I will start showing you guys, you know, my routine before I go to work. But my number one priority with my morning routine, you guys know, is I focus on my bathrooms. And I've noticed that if I miss a day on my bathroom, like it gets dirty extremely fast because again, everything shows. And when I brush my hair, like you can see every little thing on the floor. Just the floors in general, I feel like all throughout the house, again, we have very light flooring. So when I sweep the house, like I feel like now you guys can finally kind of see how dirty my floors are or how dirty they get, because I noticed in the videos when I sweep, you can actually see what I am sweeping. And in my previous videos, I feel like my floors were darker, so a lot of whatever was on the floor, you know, when I swept or vacuumed, you couldn't really tell because again, the floors were just a little darker. So with that same rag that I cleaned the countertops of my bathroom, I went ahead and wiped down my bedside tables. And then after that, and then I will go ahead and focus on that table, or not the table, the toilet with the same rag. I don't ever clean a countertop, then clean a toilet, then go clean something else. The toilet is always the last that I use on a rag, and then I will go ahead and toss it into the wash. And that is including like both bathrooms. So if I clean the countertops in this bathroom, then clean the toilet, I'm not going to go to the other bathroom and clean the countertops in the toilet. I always switch out my rags. And even before I cleaned, you know, from the countertops to the bedside tables, I go ahead and I clean it and wring it out really good. And then before I clean the toilet, I went ahead and wringed it out really good as well, so I don't just transfer the dust. But as you guys can see, look at all of that on my floor. You can just see everything, a lot of dust bunnies. Again, the house did sit for about a month, you know, so I felt like a lot of dust had just accumulated in a lot of places, a lot of dust bunnies. For a while we had problems with dust bunnies in our room. I would sweep and then the dust bunnies would just fly all over the place. And when I had filmed this video, I still didn't have my vacuum. So as you guys can see, I am sweeping the carpet. We had left my vacuum my vacuum in my mom's storage, and we just kept forgetting to take it out. So I had to sweep for quite a couple of weeks, and it was just annoying because again, obviously you can see everything is the no carpet. So even in the boys' room or whatever, or just carpet in general, I swept it off instead of letting it get built up. But this was actually my first time mopping these floors in the bathroom. So this is actually my first time mopping the floors right here in general, because again, every time I went to go move on to our room, I was already too tired, or I would just clean up the room and I wouldn't really focus on the floors. And so this was actually first day where I actually was able to spend a whole day of cleaning. And again, with me working and moving, it did take me a little bit to actually finally get to things. I've talked about this before. I want to say in my previous video, I'm not quite sure, but I feel like everything is starting to kind of just fall into place, and I'm getting a routine down on how I can keep up on my house while working. So I really cannot wait to get more videos up for you guys and just show you guys, because I know I do have a lot of working moms who watch my video, so watch my YouTube channel. So I'm really excited to share with you guys how I am able to keep up on the house and work at the same time.
I like the way you're thinking. I don't really care about the music on the dance floor. I don't really mind. All the smoke is in the bathroom. I don't care at all, baby. You got my attention. So you were saying, oh no, I don't see the logic of things. It's quite a lonely world that we're living in. Oh baby, you are something
as you guys can see, the house was pretty messy. This was a few days after Christmas, and then the day before, they had got more presents last night. So I had set them out for them, in the, that night. And then in the morning they woke up and they decided to open them up. And so there is just bullets everywhere, little scraps everywhere, and 3 boys. And with all these toys, you guys obviously know the house will it is crazy. So again, I like to start off in sections when the house is like this. So just the thing that I see that they're not really going to be touching, which is the dining room table. So I'm going to focus on the table, put the chairs back, pick up all around it. As you guys can see, they are in the living room playing and just running all over the place. So I'm really not going to focus on the living room right now. I'm going to focus on other parts that I know that I can actually keep clean. There's no point of cleaning the living room and it's literally going to look destroyed again. The living room I feel like is usually pretty much always the last part that I clean, because that is where they play the most. So when I get to the living room, then that's when it's time to clean up, your guys' toys. And, if they want to play, they can go play in their room. So now that we are in the kitchen, I'm still going to work in sections, and I like to work on what my eye focuses on, which the main thing is the island. So I will start with that first, and then I will work my way back and start adding the dishes, from that side to the sink, and then obviously that side of the kitchen I will do last.
Even if I told you I could never let you go, I am not so sure you believe me. But if I mean to show you, I will never let you go. No, I don't see the logic of things. It's quite a lonely world that we're living in. Oh baby, you are something special, I'm sure. Everything makes total sense when you're next to me. Everything makes total sense. When you're next.
This candle, it was crazy candle. I went to go light it and it started smoking like crazy, and then the flames were getting so freaking tall, and so I put the fan on and it just got crazy. So I hurried up and shut the lid off, wait till it cooled off, and tossed it in the trash. I don't like using candles in the house. I try not to use a lot of candles. I only like to use that one candle that I had talked about in my previous videos in the beginning of my channel. Is the one that I bought from Smith's, and it was the eucalyptus and mint, I want to say. It is such a good brand. I never have any I see like a bunch of smoke coming off of it, but I feel like I haven't really used any candles in the house, just that one, and that is pretty much it. And then with these countertops, I will wipe them down, and then for some reason I feel like I kind of got it now, but obviously I'm still getting the hang of cleaning this house and trying to see what works for me and what doesn't. And I was using the method cleaner on these countertops, and I just feel like it was constantly it just looked very still dirty, just like had a lot of smear marks on them. And so I would clean it, and then I would have to go back and wipe it down with a dry towel. And then with the Lysol spray, it's not too bad. But now I'm using, Miguel had gone to the store and he had bought, I think it's the 402 cleaner. I don't know. It's similar to Lysol, but I want to say it's the 402. I have no idea. Don't quote me on that. But I have not had any issues with it smearing or anything like that. And I had bought a stone marble cleaner, and it has it kills bacteria and all of that. And I had bought it when I had gotten my surgery, so I still really I wasn't really able to test it out, just because at the time I haven't really cleaned my countertops. And then Miguel bought that 402 cleaner, and so it's been out, so that's the one I have been using now that I am able to clean my countertops. So if you guys know a good cleaner, if you guys have the marble or stone countertops, leave let me know down in the comments below of an actual good cleaner that you guys use and it doesn't leave any like streaky marks or anything like that. And also stainless steel. In our previous home, we had the appliances where you don't have to use a special cleaner or anything like that. You just wipe it down and the water disappears. So I definitely miss those appliances. But like with these appliances, they're obviously stainless steel. So, and I have yet to clean up with an actual stainless steel cleaner. I have one. It's just one of those things that I really just haven't, really focused on. Again, there's little things that I kind of have been neglecting, and then eventually once I get things down, I will start incorporating it into my routine. And so when I cleaned up my stove, I clean it down with just the regular spray, and then I'll go ahead and wipe it down and try to make it where it's like not a lot of marks. It's still kind of streaky, but honestly, I really don't care about the streaks. I think that if I was like really just want my house like spickety span spotless to the max, then I will add in the stainless cleaner. I feel like when I add the stainless cleaner anyways, it's still going to like touch it. It's just going to look more streaky, but I don't know. Honestly, I haven't used my stainless steel cleaner in so long. So now that we're on this section of the kitchen, again, I do my dishes, and then I will go ahead and wipe the backsplash down always, every single time I clean. You guys know this. I always clean my walls. I always clean underneath the cabinets, everywhere, because if you guys do not touch those, eventually they will start to get built up and it gets all just gross. So focus on, don't forget about the walls and your backsplash, while you guys are done cooking or while you guys are cleaning or anything like that. Just hit those spots. It's, if you keep up on it, it's just a quick wipe down. You don't really have to scrub or anything like that. So as you guys know, I don't like a lot of dishes sitting on my countertops. So always when I'm done doing my dishes, I will, clean, what I need to do. And then I will always go back and dry the dishes and put them away. Just less clutter. It always looks more cleaner once I put my dishes away. So after I get done cleaning the sink and, just doing the dishes in general, I usually like to let the water run and let the garbage disposal run as well for at least 3 to 5 minutes, depending on if I did get quite a lot of food in there, which I usually don't. But I definitely love to run it and make sure it, does its thing and clears everything out as much as possible. I know there's a lot of people, including myself, especially in the past, is I would just run the garbage disposal for about 15 seconds and there'll still be food sitting there on the bottom, but I really, didn't really think anything of it. And the only reason why I do it is because a few years back, when we rented, we got an email from, our property management saying, they would just send reminders on little things to do, just to keep up onto the house. And one of them was to run your garbage disposal for 5 minutes and leave the water running. And it didn't state why in their terms or anything like that, but it kind of just like hit me like, oh, you're right, like that is true. So ever since I did that, to my logic, to my my assumptions is that is why. It's just the food just sits there on the bottom and can accumulate if you don't run it long enough to let it do its thing, and the food just sits on the bottom. So that's definitely something that I make sure I do. So if you guys ever see me, again, I was just doing the counters and the water was just running, that is why. It's because I do have the garbage disposal running. And now we're going to go ahead and move on to the pantry again in sections, and I like to work on my coffee bar first. And through the day, this coffee bar definitely tends to accumulate a lot of junk. There's times where I'm in a huge hurry and I'll be cleaning up the countertop, or I need to get something out of the way. I'll hurry up and just kind of toss it right here. Not like mail or anything like that, just but like stuff like that goes in the pantry. Like right now, my pantry is a disaster, obviously not in the video, but right now, since I did get my surgery, it is crazy. I definitely need to do some TLC. It's so crazy, when I'm not able to really do anything and just how fast my house falls apart. But I'm going to go ahead and wipe you know, my pantry down. I try to do this at least once a week now that I have all these baskets. I try again to make sure a lot of the stuff are in the baskets and not really seen. It's not really organized. I don't care at this point in my life, just because it is crazy. In my eyes, it looks pretty good, pretty neat, not very overwhelming to me. I mean, everything obviously kind of like goes together in the basket. There is a basket, again, where you just saw, where I just threw some drinks in there. That one, I'm just really not particular. I still have a lot of work to do in the pantry. But with the liners, I do love to add liners to everything, to all the drawers, all the cabinets, especially the pantry. And before, in the past, I would use the rubber liners where it had the holes in it. I'm pretty sure you guys know what I'm talking about, but this time I made sure I got the ones for the first time ever. It's so crazy because I used them for so long, and I finally got the ones with no holes. It's just solid material, solid rubber, and it's so nice because when I go and clean the pantry, or now I can actually go ahead and wipe it down off of the mat, and it's so easy to clean up. So it's so nice because it's so much more easier to clean and to keep clean as well. Before, with the other mats that I used, the ones with the holes in it, you know, when we would move or whatever, I would take off of the mat and I would still see so much like debris on the bottom and like stains from it pouring through the holes, and I would still have to sit there and scrub them. So it's so nice with these solid mats. There's, again, just nothing is going to be seeping through. So if you guys are renting or anything like that, and you guys are using the mats with the holes in it, I highly recommend you guys change those bad boys out and get the ones with no holes. Just, it's a solid liner, and it definitely protects the paint, all of that. I do have the liners with the holes in it, when, you know, in the cabinet with the cups. Obviously that I'm not going to be having like food or seasonings or anything like that in there, so I don't care about that part. But expect, you know, the cabinets and drawers, the ones that have the seasonings and food, definitely the ones with the solid liner works out perfectly. And now for the living room. Again, this was a few days after Christmas, and so we had a whole lot of stuff to clean up in this area. And this is a time where I start including the boys and make sure they clean up all their mess, all their bullets. There was so much bullets everywhere, and I told them, like, hey, you know, there's times where I constantly had to repeat myself to have them clean their bullets. I told them, like, if I have to, I have this bag in my hand now. If I'm going to see these bullets, I'm just going to toss them in the trash. Because they probably, by this day, they probably at least had 100 bullets. And at this point, I did not care if some ended up in the trash or not.
Once felt I'm done with the defense. Drove back and climbed over your fence. Had to show you that I was a mess. So you were shrugging your shoulders and closed off. That's what I told you. Soon enough, everything started to change. 'Cause there's no going back, no going back. There's no going back to your old life. Not living in the past, we're over that. I'm feeling it tonight, riding on the dizzying highs. Riding on the dizzying highs. Like nothing could stop us. Sunsets, remember the colors. They were wrong, it was way more than a dream. We climbed up, yeah, over the hillside. So right, we stood there all wide-eyed. You and I, floating on air in my mind. 'Cause there's no going back, no going back. There's no going back to your old life. Not living in the past, we're over that. I'm feeling it tonight.
So now that we have two boys using the toilet to go potty, Oh my gosh, you guys, my toilets get dirty so freaking fast, and they were not kidding, you know, about the boys, how just they get pee everywhere. And so definitely I'm really glad, you know, again, I do clean my bathroom every single morning, you know, the bathrooms. And I'm surprised because I can't imagine how it would look if I really wouldn't ever clean it. It would be horrible. Every morning I clean it, and there's just always pee spots on the toilet, that is for sure. So does anybody else have a hamper that sits in the bathroom, like a cute little decor hamper that the kids are able to, you know, once they're in the shower, in the bath or whatever, they go ahead and toss them in the hamper? Or do you guys have them, you know, when they're done taking a bath or shower, do you have them walk, you know, grab the clothes and walk them, you know, walk the clothes to their hamper in their room? I don't know what I want to do because I don't like clutter. I don't like a lot of things sitting on the floor if I should have a hamper sitting in there. But, you know, I remember one time when I told Xavier, I'm like, Xavier, you need to get your clothes and you need to put them in the hamper. And he's like, well, you need to get a hamper and put it in the bathroom. So I put my clothes in here. I'm like, or you could just grab them when you're done and walk them to the hamper that's in your room and put them in there. But I mean, would it be better to leave a hamper in there for them just to, you know, automatically put it in right there? Or should I have them walk the clothes to their bedroom and put it in the hamper in their room? Let me know down in the comments below what you guys do with your kids' clothes. You know, I don't always want to pick them up. I want to start making sure and teaching them how to clean up after themselves, especially their freaking clothes on the bathroom floor, because that is something that I'm always having to clean up in my bathroom and in their bathroom if they take a shower. Either way, they just always leave their clothes. So I definitely want to start getting on to them about picking up their clothes when they're done. So as you guys can see, I am sweeping the floors, and you guys can clearly see all the freaking crap that is on the floors. And I feel like before you really couldn't even tell in the old house because, again, the dark floors. So it's so nice because now you guys can see every little thing on the floor. And by this time, I hate sweeping. I got so spoiled with that Shark vacuum that once I sweep, I'm just like, I cannot do this. Sometimes it's like relaxing and satisfying, but believe it or not, it does take me a long time. It did take me a long time to sweep the floors. So I'm like, I thought to myself, I'm like, I really need to get one of those robots and let it run during the night. But then I got to thinking, like, I'm gonna get my vacuum back anyway. So then I don't know. I just feel like me having a robot, I feel like it would have its pros and cons. Can I rely on this little robot to clean my whole entire house by the time I wake up? Is it going to die somewhere and not do its job, and I'm still going to wake up with a bunch of crumbs everywhere? Or, you know, when I do my nightly routine, should I just tough it up and just sweep my whole floors? Obviously, I have my vacuum now, so I miss it's so nice to have it back and be able just to get it out. And I did get a new one. I have the cordless one, so it is pretty cool. Obviously, right now I can't vacuum, so once I get back to my YouTube videos, I probably will not be vacuuming for quite a while, which sucks because I watch Miguel vacuum and I just want to take the vacuum from him so bad and vacuum myself, because that is the one thing that I love to do. It's very satisfying. It's always been my favorite part of cleaning, which is vacuuming, believe it or not. So by this time, I got a pretty good routine on how I want to mop my floors. Since, again, we moved into so many houses, you know, when we would change floor plans, one of the things that I would look at, I'm trying, you know, once I'm cleaning, I'm like, okay, how am I going to mop these floors in a timely, orderly manner? You know, how am I going to accomplish a way, you know, where I'm not all over the place while mopping these floors? It takes me a couple times to mop the floors to get it down, but at this time I finally got it down on how I want to mop my floors. Believe it or not, I mop my floors in structure, just like how I clean my house. It works for me, and you know, it helps me get it done quicker, and you know, I'm not all over the place. And one of the pet peeves that I have is walking on my floors while my floors are wet. I hate when people walking with footprints on my floors. The dog, I just don't like it. It's just how I was raised and how I was taught to mop my floors. When I was growing up, we had a lot of homes with just nothing but tile. So I remember one time when my dad said, like, start from one of the, one end of the house and work your way down, and then always reach to the sliding glass door. Like, let that be your last place. Go outside, drink a cup of tea, and while you're done with your tea, by the time you go inside the house, your floors are dry. I'll never forget that moment. It's definitely a really strong memory that has stuck with me. And that's just how I learned to mop my floors. And it's so crazy because I see YouTubers, some moms who mop their floors and they're mopping and then they turn around and then they're mopping. So they're walking and literally they're walking on the floors that they're legit like mopping at the same time. So they're like mopping in circles. And I'm literally watching them. I'm like, oh my God, like it literally is crazy to me that they're just like all over the place. So I like to always end up in the same spot once I'm done mopping, and that is right here at my bedroom door. I'll leave them up right there. I'll go in, do my thing or whatever, and relax, lay on the bed until my floors are dry. And that is like my structure. It's so weird because I don't think I've actually ever talked about that when I mop my floors and doing it in structure. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this messy house clean with me. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, comment down below what you guys thought, and turn that notification bell on to get notified when I post a video. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching.